Good morning, students. Today we are going to deal with the chapter, the poem My Mother is 66, written by Kamala Das. I hope you have done the work of the last chapter, the last lesson, the copy work, and the exercises. Hope you have understood all the exercises of the textbook. If you have any queries or doubts, send me in WhatsApp number, personal WhatsApp number, also the completed notebook. The photos some of you have sent that. Others can also send it. That's the way I can check it. So today we are discussing the poem My Mother at 66 by Kamala Das. But before going to the poem, I want to tell you something about these lines written by William Shakespeare in his drama As You Like It. So it is a small poem. It is actually a monologue. All the world's a stage. Listen to the poem. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. His acts being 7 ages. At first the infant, mewling and pucking in the nurse's arms, and then whining schoolboy with his satchel unwillingly sorry and shining morning face creeping like snail unwillingly to school, and then the lover sighing like furnace with a woeful ballad made to his mistress eyebrow, then a soldier full of strange oaths and powdered like a part, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, and seeking the bubble's reputation even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair round belly with good capon lined, with eyes severe and bad for formal cut, full of wise souls and modern instances. And so he plays his part. The sixth age shifters into the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side. His youthful force we will saved, a world too wide for his shrug shine, and his big manly voice, turning again toward childish trouble, pipes and whistles in his sound. Last scene of all that end this strange eventful history in second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, and sans everything. So this is a lines by William Shakespeare telling about the 7 stages of life. Can you name them? The 7 stages? He is mentioning about infantry, boyhood, then our lover, that is very youth, then as a soldier, then a middle aged, then again old age. That is the 7 stages in a person's life. And he beautifully describes what kind of people we will be in these through 7 stages, these two parts of our life. We will be entirely different. And at last, he is saying about very old age, sans teeth, without eyes, without taste, without everything. That is, he's mentioning as a second childishness, state of oblivion, without any memory. So, here in this chapter, also, we are going to discuss something about old age. But before that, what do you think of childhood or of teenage or youth or middle ages or old age? What kind of experience people or what kind of things we expect from others also? What a child expects from you, what a child expects from its parent is entirely different of that what an old age, what your grandfather or grandmother expect from your parent, what you expect from your father or mother is entirely different from what your grandfather or grandmother expects. So everyone expectations or what everyone want or what everyone need is quite different. Have you ever thought what your grandfather need? He need a lot of money? Never. He need care, right? So every people want to satisfy their own feelings in life. So here we are going to discuss a poem about relationships. A relationship between mother and a daughter. Before that, the poet is Kamala Das. She is born in Malabar in Kerala in 1934, and she is an Indian English poet and writer. She wrote openly about womanhood. What make her unique is She had the courage to write openly and frankly about personal experiences, the sexual desire, and everything, while a part of generation was writing only the colonial experiences of that time. And she was famous, she was known for her originality, versatility, and indigenous flavor of the soil, which captures complex subtleties of human relationships. She has written on diverse topics like women centric and child centric and political topic. And her works, she is a sensitive writer actually, who captures the complex subtleties of human relationships. So that makes her works unique also. And she passed away in 2009 at Pune. And some of her famous work are Summer in Calcutta, Alphabet of Lust, My Story, Padmavati the Harlot, and other stories, that are a story collection. But her writing always stand unique apart along the other Indian writers. She is Most of her poems are overwhelmed with emotions and feelings. It just not tell something plainly. Even though she is telling about her relationship, her personal experiences, it is more grounded in emotions and feelings. She is capable enough to put forth all her feelings and emotions through her words or lines, which most people find it difficult. So let's go to the poem. My mother at 66. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, jaws open mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain that she thought away. And looked, but soon put that thought away, and looked out at entry sprinting, the married children spilling out of their homes. But after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I look again at her, wan, pale, at the late winter's moon, and felt that old familiar ache, my childhood's fear. But all I said was, "See you soon, Amma." All I did was smile and smile and smile. So this was the poem. It tells that the it simply tells about the parting, the separation between the mother and daughter, where the mother is of old age and the daughter is of she's of there is a contrast between the ages also. The mother who is of old age and the daughter who is of young and cheerful. So here she tells about what she feels about her mother when she was at old age. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday. So last Friday morning, she was driving back to Cochin Airport. Where she might be living abroad, and she went to see her mother, and she might have stayed with her for some days. Now she is going back to her place. While they are driving, I saw the driving. It can also take to the journey of life. I saw my mother beside me. How was she? She was dozing in the in the vehicle, open mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain that she thought away and looked, but soon put that thought away. What was the thought? Her face was ashen like corpse. That means the face is very old. There is no rush of blood or neither colorless. The face is completely ashen like a corpse, means it is almost spiritless, and realized with pain that the pain of that her mother is old age. She is in the she is in the step to death, and looked out young trees spreading. And what she did when the feeling of her separation or loss of her mother completely from the world, she just thought she just moved from the thought and look outside. What she see is the trees sprinting, running, because she is traveling in a vehicle and she could see those trees are sprinting, running. The merry children spilling out of their homes, But after the airport security check, standing a few odds away, I looked again at her, wan and pale as a late winter's moon, and felt that old familiar ache, my childhood fear. So she taken away the thought that of her old age, and she looked through the window of the vehicle. She could see the trees sprinting and the children running away. That also reminds her of the contrasting image of young and youthful age rather than the old age. But after when reached the airport, she stands a few odds away from her, and when looked into her face, her mother's face was like a late winter's moon. That how it is. Winter's moon is colorless. It is pale. It doesn't have any much light in it. It is not bright. It is dull. Felt that old familiar ache again when I see her face like that. I felt the old familiar ache. What was the ache? My childhood fear, the fear from her childhood onwards. What was it? The separation, the fear that she will be separated from her mother. But all I said was, see you soon, Amma. I will see you soon. She gave a confidence to her mother that she will be seeing again. And I did was smile and smile and smile. What she did? She was smiling. She was smiling again and she was smiling. Because why the word smile repeats here? Because even though it is not from her heart, like she want to smile at her. She want to cover up what the fear or pain or ache she had in mind, and she have to smile at her mother. So that's the poem. It simply tells about the relationship between the daughter and the mother, and also the pain or the ache that the daughter feels while during the separation from her mother, who is very old and ailing. So it has a contrast, the poem to completely contrast between old age and childhood or youth. And finally the poem ends with a resignation that he she accepts, the poet accepts the reality that her mother will be no more, or her death is coming, that is on the way. But she smiles. It reiterates the facade of the daughter, and she want to happen it as a cheerful parting from her mother. Read the poem again and you will understand. Just going to the gist of the poem, the poem captures the fear of the narrator of losing her mother due to the declining health and loss of energy which accompanies old age because of her old age. But she is ready to accept the reality, but is disturbed by her mother's need for her face on the one hand and her own duties and responsibilities on the other hand. Because even though her mother is there, she is ailing and she is going to face death soon, but the daughter has her own responsibility. She has to move away. She can't stay with her mother until the death happens or what. Okay, this helplessness is poignantly brought out with this poem. The treatment is different as it is emphasizes the subtlety of a mother-daughter relationship. The tone of the poem is also reflective, and mood is one of resignation and acceptance of the reality. So this is the gist of the poem. We will define other detail, discuss other details like literary devices and everything in other class. For now you just go through the poem and understand the theme of the poem. Here are some questions for you. Try to write it down in your notebook, what kind of pain and ache that the poet feels, and describe mother beside the poet, and why are the entries described as sprinting, running, to show the youthful, the movement shows something active, youth, isn't it? Yes. Try to write down these points. In the next class we will discuss the literary devices and appreciation to the poet. Okay, thank you.